Okay guys, we'll continue. Now we will quickly revise chapter 2, basic concepts of income tax. So basic concepts of income tax. Income tax is one of the major sources of revenue for the government. The responsibility for collection of income tax with whom? Central government. So income tax will be collected by the central government. This tax is levied and collected under Income Tax Act 1961. That is the mother law for income tax. So there are components of income tax law which are Income Tax Act of 1961, Annual Finance Act, which will be passed every year, every single year, normally every year, here and there, twice a year also they may do it, but normally once in a year. Then income tax rules for the purpose of calculation, computation, rules and all. Then circulars and notification, please be careful, notification is binding on everyone, whereas circulars is binding only on the income tax department. Legal decisions of the court. Legal decision given by the Supreme Court is binding throughout India, whereas any decisions given by High Court will be binding only the people of that territory. And the decision given by one High Court will not be binding on the people of another state. Clear? Next, Finance Act. Every year, the finance minister of the country will be presenting a budget. One of the component in that budget is a finance bill. Once when it is presented in the parliament and approved in Lok Sabha, it will go to Rajya Sabha. Once it is approved there, then it will go to the president. Once the president gives assent, it will be called Finance Act, which will be applicable always from 1st April of that year. Agree? So for your exams, June and December exams, Finance Act 2020 is applicable for June as well as December 2021 exams. Clear guys? Then income tax rules. So that is the rules for the purpose of some calculations and rules as we discussed in agriculture income also. So rule 7, 7A, 8, everything. Clear? Next, notification. The CBDT issues notification from time to time for what purpose? For proper administration of Income Tax Act. Any notification issued by CBDT and central government are always binding on everyone. This is one expected question always, is binding on everyone. Whereas circulars issued by CBDT is actually binding only on income tax department. But assessee can take an advantage of that. Clear? Then judicial decisions, I have already covered that. Any decisions given by Apex Court, or we will call it as Supreme Court, is binding on all the people of the country. Whereas any decision given by the High Court will be binding only the people of that state, particular state. Clear? Next, basis of charge. There is a general charging section which is section 4, which will tell total income of a person earned in the previous year is chargeable to tax in the assessment year. Is chargeable to tax in the assessment year. We have also seen the definition of income, person, previous year, assessment year, respective definitions. Agree? So incomes which are chargeable to tax under the Income Tax Act is defined under section 2, clause 24, and which is an inclusive definition. So important definitions I have given here. You need to remember the section numbers, guys. Very important sections these are. So I have given it here. So section number and definition, what it defines. Then concept of income. Income might be in cash or kind, or it might be on receipt basis or accrual basis. It might be legal or illegal. It is always taxable. It might be temporary income or permanent income which I would be receiving every month or once in a while. Then my income might be lump sum or I would be receiving in installments. Then even gifts are taxable under Income Tax Act. It is considered as income. Then income might be revenue or capital. Then sir, what is capital or revenue? Again I am telling it is an accounting concept. It is not defined in Income Tax Act, but we have to have an understanding to know whether an item is a revenue or capital. Clear? So revenue items are something which is occurring in the ordinary course of business of the assessee. Agree? Whereas capital receipts is non-recurring in nature. And revenue items which is related to circulating capital. Circulating capital is nothing but my working capital. Whereas capital receipt is something which is related to my fixed capital. Clear guys? Then sir, normally revenue receipts are taxable in India until and unless it is exempt under particular section. For example, agriculture income is a revenue receipt, but in section 10(1) they have specifically told that it is exempt. So it is exempt, or else normally it will be taxable. Coming to capital receipt, it is normally not taxable, but if it is specifically included in the act, it will be taxable. For example, any compensation received on the termination of any contract of agency or employment or capital gains on the transfer of assets will be taxable, even though it is a capital receipt. Clear? Then assessment year is a period of 12 months. It is always a period of 12 months commencing from 1st April and ending on 31st March. Clear? Then previous year is the year immediately preceding the assessment year. Immediately preceding the assessment year. Clear? Sir, will it be a period of 12 months? It may or may not be. It may be a period of 12 months, or in 2 or 3 cases it can be less than 12 months also, but it can never be more than 12 months. Sir, when it will be a period of less than 12 months? When you are starting any new business in between the year, or else if you are having any new source of income in between a year, or else if you are closing down your business in between the year. In that case, your previous year will be less than 12 months. In all other cases, your previous year will also be of 12 months. Clear? But assessment year can never be less than or more than 12 months. It will always be 12 months. MCQ question. Clear? Next, general rule is that income earned in the previous year is taxable in the assessment year. Agree? So for you, what is the previous year, guys? 2021. Sir, what is the assessment year? 21-22 for your exams. Next, exception to general rule means in the following cases, income earned in the previous year is chargeable to tax in the previous year itself. Agree? So there are 5 cases totally. Which are those? Shipping business of a non-resident. In this case, 7.5% of whatever revenue you are getting will be considered as income, and you have to pay tax before leaving Indian port. Then a person leaving India permanently, if the income tax department got to know that any person of India is leaving India permanently, in that case they will ask you to pay tax before you leave India. Then if any AOP or BOA is established for a particular purpose, and if that particular purpose is served during this year or previous year, in that case they will ask you to pay tax before the purpose is served. Then transfer of property to avoid tax. If you are transferring any property to avoid tax or not to pay tax, and if you are not willing to pay tax, in that case the department can ask you to pay tax in the previous year itself as soon as you sell the property. Next, discontinued business. In case of discontinued business, department has an option. They can collect the taxes in the previous year itself, or else they can wait till the assessment year. Clear? Then agriculture income has been defined in section 2(1)(a). I have not given the definitions and all here. So if you are having agriculture income from a land which is situated in India and which is used for agriculture purpose, it is completely exempt in India. It is completely exempt in India. And there are various certain cases where you are engaged in growing as well as manufacturing. You are doing growing as well as manufacturing. That means you are undertaking agriculture activities as well as non-agriculture activities. In that case, certain rules of income tax rules have given, okay, this is the ratio of allocation. How much is your business, how much is your agriculture income. So in case of growing and manufacturing of rubber, the ratio is 65-35. In case of coffee grown and manufactured in India, 75-25. In case coffee is grown, cured, roasted and grounded, all things should be there, 60-40. Tea grown and manufactured, 60-40. The last rule is general rule. If you are undertaking any other activities which is not covered in this specific rule means 7A, 7B, 7B1A, 8. If you are doing anything which is not covered in this, then apply general rule. General rule will tell, if you are growing something and manufacturing something out of whatever you have grown, then in that case, on the date on which you are using your crops to manufacturing purpose, the market value of that crop or the agriculture produce is considered as a agriculture revenue or sales of agriculture income. And from that you can remove the cost of cultivation, the balance will be your agriculture income. And while calculating business income from the sales of your manufactured product, you have to reduce the fair market value of whatever agriculture produce you have used for the purpose of manufacturing. Clear, guys? This is all about your chapter 2.